everybody. My name is Haley Todd, and this is my informative speech on the effects of caffeine on the body. For my audience, I have Josh, Eric, Brandon, Kevin, Sam, Caitlin, my cameraman, and my friend Charity. And again, this is my informative speech on the effects of caffeine on the body. So, how many cups of coffee or pops have you guys already had today? Probably a lot more than you would want to be drinking. Experts agree that 4 to 7 cups of coffee or more a day is too much to drink. Caffeine fuels America. 90% of people consume caffeine daily from one source or another. And you wouldn't believe the damage that overusing caffeine actually really has on the body. Caffeine occurs naturally in more than 60 plants, but there are other man-made caffeines that are put into your things that you consume daily, like your pops, juices, candy bars, stuff like that. That's the man-made caffeine. So when you use caffeine in excess, like anything else, it can become dangerous to yourself. Caffeine is a stimulant, which is why it's dangerous. It's a stimulant to the central nervous system, which is the brain, spinal cord, and other nerves of your body. And regular use of caffeine does cause a mild dependence. So a lot of people depend on caffeine to get them through their day. So daily use of caffeine affects almost every system in the body, including the central nervous system, the digestive and excretory systems, your circulatory and your respiratory system, skeletal and muscular system, and also the reproductive system. Caffeine affects the central nervous system because, again, it acts as a stimulant. The central nervous system is the spinal cord, brain, and the nerves of the body, so it's a really big, important system. And it is possible to OD on caffeine. Overdosing on caffeine would include confusion, hallucination, convulsions, stuff like that. So in extreme amounts, it is very damaging to your central nervous system, and which could cause to an overdose in caffeine. The effects that caffeine has on the digestive and the excretory systems include heartburn, acid reflux, ulcers, which I'm sure all you guys have experienced one of those. Caffeine works as a diuretic. A diuretic is something that produces the amount of urine you create, and which causes you to urinate more frequently. When you are withdrawing from caffeine, it causes nausea and vomiting, which can damage your digestive system. Caffeine on the circulatory and respiratory system are the most threatening. Caffeine causes a rise in blood pressure. The rise in your blood pressure usually doesn't last long, only while you're consuming the beverage. It raises your blood pressure, but the caffeine remains in your system for about 4 to 6 hours after consuming it. So the raise in blood pressure doesn't last long, but if you have high blood pressure and you don't know about it, or a history of high blood pressure, it could become dangerous. Consuming caffeine can cause your heart to work harder and can cause irregular heartbeats and irregular rhythms, and could cause convulsions. The convulsions are usually more when you're overdosing. It's one of the more serious side effects of the more frequent users of caffeine. So, caffeine in large amounts interfere with calcium absorption of the bones. So, not only does it affect your bones, it also affects your muscles. It robs the water from your muscles and causes muscle twitching or aching muscles. The effect of caffeine in the reproductive system, I think, is the scariest, because while you're pregnant, when you consume caffeine, everything you consume, your baby consumes right through your bloodstream and crosses into the placenta. So, since caffeine is like a stimulant, it could be just as bad as smoking cigarettes while being pregnant if you use too much caffeine. It's a stimulant to your baby. So that would increase your baby's heart rate and its metabolism, which could cause more damaging effects along its afterlife. Excess amounts can cause slow fetal growth. So this is in like the worst case scenarios. It could cause slow fetal birth or growth. So that's pretty scary. And it also increases the risk of you having a miscarriage. So the people that drink a lot or consume a lot of caffeine have a higher risk of having a miscarriage when they do get pregnant, if they drink a lot. So for the women that aren't pregnant, caffeine messes with your estrogen production, which makes it harder for you to get pregnant. So that is true. So whether caffeine is consumed in your favorite beverages or food, the main effect on your body is to make you feel more alert and awake. When you abuse it, it can become dangerous, but it is okay